Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Build the Millennium Falcon by DeAgostini. So over here I have issue 8, 9, 10, 11 and the parts are shown here, so you can see all are packed nicely in the packaging itself. Let's start with issue 8. Issue 8 actually starts with building the control panel inside the Millennium Falcon. Not the cockpit, but you remember the chess set, hologram chess table? Yeah, this is actually the wall panels and control panels around it. So as you can see, there are actually a lot of in this issue there's a lot of smaller parts that I need to use blue tack to assist me because my fingers are quite big and I couldn't hold on to the smaller parts. So I need a tweezer to help me to dip into the super glue and then put it in place, and here is the control panel. Next, I'm actually demonstrating a bit of weathering in this episode, which I'm using a watercolor based paint to paint over all the lines and of the flooring. Here I'm actually trying to clean up all the excess paint from the panel. Over here I'm actually finishing up building the back panel of the hologram table, which is actually connects to the seat itself. I'm using a silver Sharpie to do a bit of highlight on the designs of the panel. And this is the final part for me to actually assemble the parts, including the seat of the hologram table seating. And here is actually the outcome. I actually made a mistake by putting all the backrests. In fact, actually I just need to put another backrest and the panel beside it. And this is all for issue 8. Okay, let's look at issue 9. Issue 9 gets more interesting because in this issue you'll be getting the battery pack. So of course the battery doesn't come together, so you have to buy your own batteries, and it's very easy to assemble with the battery pack and the wiring. You just attach it to the back panel. So in issue 9, we'll be actually completing the outer shell of the cockpit by assembling all these small wiring and parts which you need to use the cutter to cut out and use the tweezer to assemble it. Of course you need the super glue as well. And over here actually I did a bit of weathering by using the watercolor black paint, and I'm actually using the wet tissue to rub the excess paint job. Next we have issue 10. Actually, when you look at the parts of issue 10, you will not be using it at the moment because issue 10 you will still be assembling parts from issue 8 and issue 9 itself. So in issue 10, you will be actually assembling a door panel, which this leads to the hologram chess table area. These are actually some of the detailing of the panel, electronic panel that I used again the silver Sharpie marker to highlight it. Okay, next is actually this ring here requires you to assemble all the square parts here. The square parts are actually a padding light which you actually have to assemble into the ring to make. This is actually a frame. Later I will show you that. So you need actually to take all these small little square parts and assemble it one by one. This also requires a bit of super glue to hold them tightly to the ring. Here it is, the completion of the ring itself. And here, before I assemble the ring, I will actually need to put in more of the details of the panel that I've done. And to glue it, I will just have to trim some of the edges, because by using the cutter, it doesn't cut all the excess of from the runner itself. Here it is. Actually, I put it in all the panels using the super glue. I put it on the silver foil plate because it would not melt through the plastics. The last time I put it on plastic plate, it actually melts through. And if it's not enough, I'll just use the whole super glue and apply the glue into it. And here you can see actually I need a bit more glue. I will just do a bit, put it in on the ring itself. This is the outer ring, which you assemble inside there, and then I need more glue to put it into put in that smaller ring. It fits nicely into that whole so-called the door or the door panel itself. Issue 11 will be the last issue for this video itself, and as you can see again, I'm actually showing you all these parts here, but you will not be using it at any time or any moment itself. So issue 11 still continues to focus on the door panel, because there's a lot of different wire rings that require you to assemble into the door panels. So here are the wiring, or I would say piping, that you need to assemble. You can see actually there are smaller parts which you have to assemble into the longer piping itself. And over here, assembling the piping is not difficult, but it requires to put in some glue to fasten it, because it's not snap fit, it's just like sitting on top of the layer itself. So when you actually apply glue for the piping or the wiring, please be careful, because not to let the excess glue leak out, so you will actually damage the surface of the panel. Once you've completed gluing all the piping, then you can finally assemble it to the flooring panel, which leads everything to the hologram chess set table and chairs, and everything is there. So this is somehow the completion of issue 8, 9 and 10 for the this hologram chess set area. So if you are interested to subscribe, please head over to www.deagostini.my/mfl to order your subscription before it's too late. And those of you who have subscribed from issue 1 to 25th, you will actually get a 1 to 10 scale Darth Vader model for free, right? So what are you waiting for?